Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start. Thank you all for joining this session on SAP S/4HANA Predictive Accounting. Okay, so what are we going to do in this session is we are going to understand what exactly is predictive accounting, when actually it was introduced, what are the configurations required to perform the predictive accounting, and what is the complete process. Okay, so before I start, let me introduce myself. As I can see, there are many of my old students who joined, but there are other guys also who are listening to me for the first time. So my name is Vikram, and I worked as SAP S/4HANA consultant from last 3 to 4 years when SAP started this new product. I'm giving this trainings from again from last 3 years. So I started providing the training starting from SAP Simple Finance 1503, then S/4HANA 1511, then whatever new versions came, and now I'm taking care of the latest version, that is SAP S/4HANA 1909. Okay, so now let's focus on our topic today, that is SAP S/4HANA Predictive Accounting. So what I'll do is I will first take my time to explain the topic, and at the end of the session, I will allow you guys to raise your question or whatever queries that you have. Okay, so what is predictive accounting now? Maybe instead of asking you, let me give you the example. What do you mean by prediction? When we say prediction, prediction means based on our previous results, we want to predict what would be our future. Okay, so let's take an example of any company which is doing the business from last 10 years or 5 years or something like that. Now, if they want to know what is going to be our revenue in the coming months or what is going to be our revenue in the coming years, so that is nothing but prediction. So you are predicting your results based on the previous results that you got over the years. But when we are talking about predictive accounting, that is in SAP S/4HANA, we are not talking about those predictive results. We are not talking about the predictions that we are making based on our previous results. Okay, so that needs to be very clear. What is predictive accounting in SAP S/4HANA? It is not the prediction that we are making based on our previous results. It is something different. We'll talk about what is different in S/4HANA predictive accounting. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So in order to understand the predictive accounting, let's take this example. Now you can see here, this is the time axis. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah, so this is the time axis, and you can see this is a period. Maybe I need to just give me a minute. Yes, so this is a time axis, and you can see in this time axis there is a period end. So let's consider today is the last day of the month, right? We are here on 31st of October 2019. So you must be knowing that for the business, this date is very important because they need to carry out all their reportings for the month of October. Okay, so over next few days, maybe 2 days, 5 days, they'll be concentrating on finalizing the results of the previous month, okay, which is October. So what is happening currently is companies are focusing, when we say about financial reporting, what are financial reportings? Financial reportings are normally talking about what has happened in the previous month, what has happened in the previous period. So instead of focusing on what is going to happen in the next month, when we say normal period accounting, it focuses on the period which is already closed. So you can see this example. The period accounting is something which is before where we are standing today. Okay, so let's say for the month of October, whatever we are carrying out is nothing but period accounting. Okay, so you have some products, and based on which you want to know what is my revenue, what is my profit over the previous month. Okay, but when we're talking about predictive accounting, in predictive accounting, we are not focusing on what has happened already. We are focusing on what is going to happen over the next month or over the next year. Okay, but again, this is more of next month rather than the year. I'll tell you why. When we are talking about SAP predictive accounting, you cannot plan for many years. in future. You only can plan for some months in the future. Why? Because there are normally two types of predictive accounting. Okay, I'm not talking about SAP now. I'm talking about the general terms. When we say prediction, if I want to do the prediction, prediction can be either top-down prediction. What is top-down prediction? I gave you the example. If I want to plan my future based on the historical data. So let's say I want to know what is going to be my next month revenue based on what revenue I earned over the next or over the previous 2 years. So that is called as top-down prediction. But as I told you, SAP is not talking about the top-down prediction. SAP is focusing on bottom-up prediction. Why? Because in SAP, whatever predictive accounting we are going to do, that is going to be based on the business processes that we follow in the previous month. Okay, just to take an example, if you see the example slide here, what we are talking about is prediction of accounting documents based on incoming sales orders. So this is nothing but predictive accounting. Now, what does it mean? It means, let's take a simple example. When we talk about revenue, all the revenues which is coming in SAP, it is coming mainly from sales module, right? From the sales and distribution module, ST module. Now, let's say we are in 31st of October today. In October, we already created some sales orders, right? In the October month, there are a lot of sales orders which are already created, but they are still not delivered and they are still not invoiced. Okay, so if there are already sales orders created in the October month which are already confirmed and they need to be delivered in the month of November and maybe they need to build in the month of December. So looking at the sales orders itself, we can at least predict what is going to be our sales for the next 2 months. Okay, so what would be my total COGS for the month of November and what would be my total billing in the month of December, that I can easily say based on the incoming sales orders that I have today. So when we talk about SAP predictive accounting takes into consideration the incoming sales orders. So the overall predictive accounting is based on the incoming sales orders in SAP S-4 HANA. Okay, this is a completely new topic. It was only introduced in 1809, that is last year. SAP introduced this predictive accounting based on incoming sales orders from last year itself. Okay, so this is an example. If you see the next one, you can see the sales order was created in the month of October. Okay, and for this sales order, the delivery is still not done. The billing is still not done. But we are expecting that the delivery would be done in the month of November and the billing will be done in the month of December. So now itself, we can clearly tell that what would be our COGS value in the next month and what would be our sales value in the next month. Now, obviously, there might be one question in your mind that there might be some new sales orders which would be created in the month of November and December. That is absolutely correct, right? So we are not saying whatever we are predicting, it is 100% correct. What we are predicting is totally based on what is the information available today. Whatever is going to change in November and December, that nobody knows, right? But we are only predicting whatever is confirmed as of today, right? So this is confirmed. We already have the sales order, the quantities are already confirmed. They need to be delivered in this month and they need to build in this month. So these are already confirmed. But apart from that, whatever is going to happen in the next month, that we are not talking about in the predictive accounting based on incoming sales orders here, right? So this is what is predictive accounting. So based on the sales orders, we need to determine what is going to be our goods issue prediction and what is going to be our invoice predictions in the coming months. Now, how are you going to take care of them in the SAP system? How are you going to make sure that these things are delivered in the SAP system? Okay, the first thing is, am I going to do any accounting entry for prediction? If I ask you a simple question in ECC, once I create a sales order, this delivery document will be created only in the month of November. So accounting entry will be created only in the month of November, right? We don't need to create the accounting entry in this month. This accounting entry will be created only in the month of November. Similarly, the accounting entry for the billing document will be only created in the month of December. So if this delivery and invoice is going to be created in future, at this point of time, how can I predict the delivery and billing? I'll be only able to predict the delivery and billing if the accounting document is already posted, but I'm not posting any accounting document here. Right, so in SAP S/4HANA, what is going to happen is, as soon as you create a sales order, okay, this is very important. As soon as you create a sales order, system will automatically generate the delivery accounting document and the billing accounting document. Okay, and that too in the month of November and December. But is it correct? We have still not delivered the material and we are creating a delivery document. We are creating the accounting document of delivery. Similarly, we have still not done the billing. We are going to do it in December. Then how can we book the accounting document today? This is against the auditors, right? This is against the legal compliances. We cannot book the accounting documents in advance. The accounting documents will be only booked once that transaction is complete. This transaction is still not complete. But if we don't book, the accounting document, then we will not be able to do the prediction. So these are two contradictory things. One side, we cannot book the accounting documents till the time the transactions are complete. On the second side, if we don't book the accounting documents, then we will not be able to make the prediction. So what is the solution? Solution is extension ledgers in SAP S/4HANA. SAP delivered extension ledgers in SAP S/4HANA. What exactly are extension ledgers? So, although we are going to book this accounting documents today itself, even if the transaction is not complete, but we are not going to book this accounting documents in our main ledger. We are not going to book this accounting documents in our leading ledger. We are not going to touch our leading ledger 0L. What we are going to do then? We are going to book this accounting documents in a separate ledger called as extension ledger. Okay, so extension ledger is also one of the new concepts with SAP S/4HANA, which will allow you to book the accounting documents without touching your main ledger, that is 0L. Okay, so one side you are able to do the predictive accounting because you are booking the accounting documents. Second good thing is, even if I'm booking the accounting document, it is not touching my legal compliance reporting. My legal compliance is not getting affected at all. Right? So this is the reason why, if we want to use the predictive accounting, definitely we need to create a predictive ledger, which is an extension ledger in SAP S/4HANA. Okay, so how are you going to do that? So these are the configurations. There are only few configurations that you need to make for predictive accounting. Number one is you need to define the ledgers. So you can see this is where you will be defining the extension ledgers. Okay, so you might be, I think most of you are coming from SAP ECC background. So I don't need to explain what is ledgers. Some of you I can see, some of my previous students who are undergoing the training on SAP S/4HANA from scratch. So for you, this might not be very easy to understand as of now, but I'll make sure that you understand when we'll talk about this topic once again. Okay, but for some of you who are coming from the experience background, you must be knowing that in SAP ECC, there was no concept of extension ledgers. This extension ledger is something which is introduced now for the first time in SAP Simple Finance and SAP S/4HANA. Okay, in addition to extension ledgers, again, whenever you are creating extension ledger, you need to tell the system that this particular ledger I am going to use for the prediction purpose, for the predictive accounting. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to create a separate ledger, okay, which will be created as the extension ledger with extension ledger type as prediction ledger. Okay, so this is the first configuration. Second configuration, you need to tell the system that which prediction ledger are you going to use for predictive accounting. So just creation is not enough. Even if you create 10 prediction ledgers here, if you don't do this configuration, system will assume that you created the prediction ledgers here, but they are not being used productively. If you want to use that particular ledger for the predictive accounting, you have to do this configuration. So you have to go to this table and you have to make sure that that particular ledger is assigned here. Okay. Third one is for a particular controlling area. Okay, so it is not necessary that you will be activating the predictive accounting for each and every controlling area. Let's say you have 10 controlling areas in your system and you want to activate predictive accounting only for 2 controlling areas out of that. So this is a place, this is a transaction code which will allow you to activate the predictive accounting for a particular controlling area. So you can see in this example, I activated the predictive accounting for controlling area TS01. Okay, and you can see for other controlling areas, some of the controlling areas, it is still inactive. Okay, next one is you have to tell the system which sales order is relevant for predictive accounting. Okay, so if I'm creating, you must be knowing in SAP SD, there are different sales order types. Okay, so whenever you are creating the sales order, if you want to tell the system that yes, this particular sales order will go for predictive accounting, and this particular sales order type I don't want to consider in the predictive accounting, that can be done by specifying here which sales order type is activated for predictive accounting and which particular sales order is not activated for predictive accounting. Same way, the last one is the item category. So in SAP SD again, whenever you are creating the sales order, in the sales order, every material what you are going to enter in the lines, it is assigned to the item category. So again, within the sales order, some of the items you want to consider in the predictive accounting, and some of the items you can say I don't want to consider as into the predictive accounting. Okay, so I'll show you this example practically in the system. But before that, let me summarize the process steps. So what are we going to do in the system? We are going to create a sales order. Okay, and we are going to see at the creation of sales order whether system is generating the accounting documents or not. How are we going to see whether the system is going to generate the accounting documents or not? We can go to new table. This is again a new table called as Universal Journal Table in SAP S-4 HANA AC.A. So we can easily go to table AC.A and find out whether the sales order that we have created has generated the accounting documents or not. Okay, if yes, then fine. If no, we are going to go to AIF monitor. Okay, I'll tell you what is AIF monitor. If you find that you have done all the configuration correctly, you have created the sales order, but it is still not flowing to table AC.A, it is still not creating the accounting document in the prediction ledger, then how are you going to find out what is wrong? Where exactly system is not able to create the accounting document? So you can go to this transaction code. There it will clearly tell you why your sales order is not able to generate the accounting document. What is stopping the sales order to generate the accounting document? There might be errors, right? So maybe system is not able to derive the GL account. The account determination is not done properly. Maybe the period is closed. That is the reason system is not able to generate the accounting document. So whatever is the reason, you can easily go to this transaction code and find out why a particular sales order is not able to generate the accounting document. Okay, so let me show you this things directly in the system. Let me connect to the system. Okay, so let me connect to 1809. Okay, and first let me show you the configurations, whatever configurations I explained you. Number one is I need to go to SPRO and I'll just show you where exactly you are going to create the prediction ledger. So financial accounting global settings, ledger, okay, and define settings for ledgers and currency types. This is a configuration which will allow you to create different type of ledgers. So by default, whenever you are implementing a new SAP S4 HANA system, by default you will only get one ledger, that is 0L. Okay, and that is not extension ledger, that is a normal standard leading ledger. So apart from that standard leading ledger, SAP allows you to create the ledgers as per your requirements. So you can either create a normal ledger or you can create an extension ledger. Okay, and when you are creating the extension ledger, again, within extension ledger, there are multiple types. So for this particular purpose, you are going to create the extension ledger with extension ledger type, prediction, and commitment. Okay, it is taking more time than usual because there are a lot of users who are working on this server. So you can see this is a standard delivered 0L leading ledger. Apart from this, in our example, we created the ledger T7 as the prediction ledger. You can see this is a prediction ledger. Okay, so T7, this is a name, this is an extension ledger, and here we have specified that this is the extension ledger for type, prediction, and commitments. Okay, so this is the first configuration that you need to do. Now, second is there are some configurations which are relevant to table level. So if I go to SM30, these are the three tables. Maybe I'll be able to see. Yes, these are the three tables where you need to maintain the settings. Number one is this is where you will be telling the system that this predictive ledger is productive, which means whenever I am be creating the sales order, I want the values to flow to this ledgers. Okay, so in our case, it is there are 4 ledgers which will get the values from the predictive accounting, but don't concentrate on others. As of now, in our example, let's concentrate on T7 itself. Okay, this is first thing. There are other tables also. So let me remove this first one and check which are the other tables. So this is the second one, which is for the item category. Okay, this too I'll explain you. What is this item category? Same way, there is third table which is for sales order type. Okay, which is this one, last one. So this is for sales order type. Okay, so let's take this example. Let's say I want to create a sales order. So you know normally we use transaction VA01 to create a sales order. Even in SAP S4 HANA, if you are using this traditional GUI, you will be using the same transaction VA01. On top of that, you can also use SAP Fiori to carry out all your transactions. Okay, so I am concentrating on traditional GUI. So I'll go to transaction VA01. So this is a screen from where you create a sales order. So whenever you create a sales order, system asks you what is the sales order type. So in our example, we activated the predictive accounting for sales order type OR. We are not activated for any other sales order type, and that is the reason system will only generate the predictive accounting documents if the sales order type is OR. Okay, so let's take this order type OR, click on create with a reference. Okay, instead of creating the sales order from scratch, I will just copy one of the sales order. Okay, and click on copy. Just confirm this quantity as of now. So let's say I am creating the sales order which needs to be delivered on 1st of, let's say, November. Okay, so I'm creating this on the 31st October. Okay, but I'm going to deliver this material in the next month. So what should happen is system should automatically create the accounting document on this particular date. The delivery document should be created automatically on this particular date, even if I'm not creating the delivery and billing of this sales order now. Okay, so this is a required delivery date. I will just enter some customer reference and try to save this sales order. Okay, so there is some warning. Let me double click on this. Okay, so this is order type and this is the item category. I told you there is another table which we maintain. This is sales order type. I'm saying this sales order type is relevant for predictive accounting. Similarly, there was another table, if you remember, which is relevant to the item category. So this is a place where I'm telling the system that this item category is also relevant for the predictive accounting, which means even in my sales order, this item category will also get checked. So if there is any other item category, then maybe the predictive accounting document will not get generated. Okay, so let me double click again here, go to schedule lines. Okay, just wanted to make sure that the delivery date is 01/11/2019. Okay, click on OK and try to save this particular sales order. No need to worry about this. This is a credit management check, which is also changed in S4 HANA, but again, we will focus on this topic maybe in another session. So just click on continue. And the sales order number has been created. Sales order has been created. So if I go to the sales order, so although we have not generated any delivery, we have not done any billing of this particular sales order, but still it would have created the accounting document for the predictive accounting. How can we check that? So as I told you, we can go to the table level directly. We can go to table AC Doc A, which is a new table, which is also called as Universal Journal Document Table. AC Doc A. Okay, Universal Journal Line Item Table. So here I created this sales order for company code TS01 and I want to know in ledger T7 whether the lines are created for sales order number 372. Okay, let's try to execute and see. Okay, so I can see there are a lot of documents which are created in T7 for company code TS01, but we want to focus on sales order number 372. So this is a sales order number you can see. So the first one itself, first 4 lines are relevant to sales order number 372. Okay, why 4 lines? There are 2 lines for delivery document. You can see this. Okay, you can see this. WL is nothing. Document type WL is for delivery and document type RV is for sales order billing. So 2 documents are created for delivery. So delivery is going to take place on 1st of November and billing also in this case is going to happen on 1st of November. So you can see the posting date, but you can see the document number. This is not a actual document number. This is just a statistical number. Why? Because this document is not generated in your main ledger. It is not touching your main legal reporting. It is just giving you the extension based on this extension ledger T7. Okay, so how are you going to check this document? How are you going to go and see how this document is posted? So what you can do is you can simply go to the FS10N report to check the balances. Now I want to know the revenue for the month of November. Okay, so revenue GL is which one? One of this line would be revenue itself. So one of this line, the billing line would be revenue. Let's go and see which are the accounts which are posted here. So these are the accounts. I think 3001 is revenue GL account. So if I go to revenue GL account, 3001, okay, and I want to know the balance for company code TS01 for fiscal year 2019. Okay, if I execute this, you can see in the month of November, it is showing me some 10,000, but this is not what we posted because I am currently seeing the report for leading ledger. Okay, so maybe someone has already posted here. That is the reason it is showing some 10,000. Let's double click and see. Okay, so this is coming from some other example. Okay, this is not relevant to us. 10,000. But now if I go for ledger, I can change the ledger here and make it T7. Okay, and now if I execute this, it is showing in the 11th month there is a sales of 15,000. How? 10,000 is actual sales which is already posted in the leading ledger, and 5,000 is the additional one. You can see these two are actual sales. You can see the actual number. They are posted in the leading ledger also. But this, which is starting from P, this is a statistical number which is not posted in leading ledger. This is just for the prediction purpose. That is the reason it is starting with P. This is just for the prediction purpose, and it is showing you that there is a predicted value of 5,000 in the month of November. Okay, so if you want to see this document, just click on this display document. You can see, so your revenue account has been credited, and what is the corresponding GL account? This must be customer account. Customer account has been debited. Okay, and this is happening only for ledger T7, which means it is not touching your legal reporting at all. This is just for your management reporting purpose. Okay, so just to summarize what we discussed what is predictive accounting. So prediction means what? Prediction
Hello, Vikram.
normally.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry for disturbing you. I have a doubt here because you mentioned that it gets posted in October itself, no, on 31st of October, but that one has got posted in November 1st.
No. First November, that is the reason we are doing the prediction accounting, right? So our delivery is going to happen when? We set the system that our delivery will happen in 1st of November.
Right, that will be actual delivery. But now we are
Right.
predicting that will happen. That will be the actual delivery in November. But
So
we are on 31st of October, and now we are now standing on today, and we want to predict what is going to happen in November, and we want to see on today date. No, it should get posted on
no.
today's date.
If it is happening, see, if it is happening in today's date, then your reportings are wrong, right? Then it is showing you that this is a sales for today, current month, right?
No,
Is it a
no,
sales for
but
the
that
current month?
no, but that will it will be shown in extension ledger. It will not be shown in reading ledger. No,
No. See, that is correct. What you are saying is, according to you, you mean to say that this sales should be reflected in the current month. But is it correct? Is
current
it a
month,
current
current
month?
current month in extension ledger. That's what I'm saying.
No. Current month see, current month is already finalized. Why should I keep the statistical results in the current month? My current month is already closed.
No,
There is no
today is
prediction
31st.
for the
No,
current month. Whatever
today
prediction
is
we are doing,
31st. Yeah, today is
whatever
31st,
prediction
and
we are doing for the next month.
right, but document is getting posted in 11th month. No, but I want to see with the 31st date, and that too in extension ledger instead of 0 ledger. We want to see the same posting in extension ledger. If this is
No.
showing in extension ledger in November, then I think
No. What is the simple? What is the meaning of prediction? I want to know what would be my sales in the month of November. I want to know what would be my sales in the month of December. Right. So if I post everything in October itself extension, then how will you categorize what is the sales of November and December? See, on the one side, we don't want to post anything in the November from the legal point of view. From the other side, because we want to know what is going to happen in the November, we want to post accounting document in November, that too, which should not reflect my normal legal reporting. And that is the reason this document is getting posted to November, but in the extension ledger.
okay, but that means while you are retrieving the reports, we need to give the period 11 only, not 10.
Exactly. I want to know the prediction for the November. I don't want to know the prediction for October. October is already closed. I'm getting my real time reports in October.
Okay,
I
yes,
want to do the
okay, got it.
prediction for November and December, right?
Yeah, got it. But I thought that okay, it will be posted in this October only, but it will be posted in extension ledger like that. I thought.
No. It will be posted in the month in which it is actually going to be delivered.
Okay, then got okay. Now in the that means once deliveries happen in November, then extension ledger posting gets cancelled, and the same postings will get posted in as actuals in 0L.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
whatever has been posted in the extension ledger now, this 1st of November is the prediction that this particular order would get delivered on this particular date. So till the time you actually book the delivery, it will show here in the extension ledger. But once you
Right.
make the actual delivery, then it will flow to the leading ledger.
Right. Right. Okay. Right. Right. Got it.
And it will get removed from the extension ledger.
Right. Like that. That means it's exactly like how you make provisions for expenses, like on the basis of concept of prudence. Now we using the predictive ledger concept. We are doing the same for revenues now.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Accruals is allowed for expenses, but accrual is not allowed for revenues because they are, unless they are not realized, we can't show in books. So using this concept called predictive accounting, we are getting the same benefit.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Okay, so just maybe I'll give you the time to ask the question, but let me just summarize what we just now discussed. So we started with what is predictive accounting. Predictive accounting means you are predicting the future results. Okay, this is the normal definition of prediction. You are predicting the future based on your historical data. Okay, but we are saying that when we are talking about SAP S4 HANA predictive accounting, which is delivered as a ledger, that is not based on the historical data. That is based on the incoming sales orders. Okay, which means based on the sales orders that you already created in your previous months, you are predicting what is going to be my COGS in the next month, what is going to be my revenue in the next month, right? So when you are creating the sales order, you are telling the system that this is going to be my delivery date and this is going to be my billing date. So based on that, system is immediately, when you create a sales order, immediately system is creating the accounting document. Okay, but this accounting document is not a legal document because legally you cannot book your revenue when the sales order is created. You can only book the revenue when the transaction is complete. Just by creating the sales order, your transaction is still not complete, so you cannot book the revenue. Okay, but in order to show the prediction, you have to book the revenues, and that is the reason SAP has given you the option of predictive ledger, which means even though the accounting document would be created, it will not touch your normal legal reporting. Your normal legal reporting will still be done from ledger 0L, and your predictions reporting would be done by using a predictive ledger, which is of kind of extension ledger in SAP. Okay, so in any case, maybe you have done all the configurations correctly. Okay, you created a sales order, but you are still not able to see this document here. You are still not able to see your document in AC Doc A. So what should you do? So there is one last step that you need to follow if there is an error. You need to go for this AIF monitor. This is a transaction which will help you in understanding what is wrong, why system is not creating the accounting document for the sales order document that you posted. Okay, so what is AIF monitor? AIF monitor is a monitor which is picking the data from the sales orders and it is responsible for posting into the prediction ledger. So if any document is stuck, okay, if a document you created as a sales order but it is still not posted in the accounting, then you can come here and you can identify what is wrong with that particular order. Okay, so you can click on this. Okay, these are the list of different orders that are created. So you can see maybe this particular one is for which sales order. Just double click on this and it will tell you that this is sales order number 368. So there is something wrong with sales order 368 due to which this document is still not posted to accounts. Okay, what is wrong? You can see this is the error. So system is not able to get the reference. Okay, for document type RV, normally the reference field is mandatory, but system is not able to determine the reference and that is the reason it is throwing error. Okay, so in this particular case, what we can do, either we provide the reference or we can go to document type RV. Again, it totally depends upon business. If it is mandatory for them, then you have to provide the reference. But just the example sake, we can go to document type RV and we can make this field optional. Okay, and I already done that. And once you do the corrections, what you need to do is you need to select this line and you need to restart. Okay, so when you restart, if this error is resolved, you can see now there is no more error. The document is restarted, and now if you go to the AC docket table, you will be able to see that this document is now posted in the extension ledger. So if you go to AC doc A for company code TS01 and ledger T7, we should be able to see sales order 368 here. Okay, you can see 4 lines are added. Earlier it was 38, now it is 42. So if you just go to the right side to find out if there is a document posted for 368, okay, you can see this last 4 lines. These are posted just now because there was one document, sales order was already created, but system was not able to post the accounting document. Why? Because of any XYZ reason. How will you know what is that XYZ reason? Whether the posting period is closed, or there is something wrong with the document type, or there is something wrong with the fields that you have mentioned as mandatory. Okay, so if that is the case, you can go to this transaction, which is AIF monitor. Okay, and in AIF monitor, you will be able to clearly see what is wrong with that particular order. So you can rectify that error and then select your order and create the restart button. That is the only process that you need to follow. This is a interface monitor.